Hi, good evening, family. I was looking at some of the news reels about Rodney Hinton Jr. unaliving a officer. I guess he was an ex-police officer or whatever, retired. And wow, so many thoughts go through my head because first of all, I want to say that unaliving anyone, when there are so many other options, is not something that I condone, you know. But as a father, I got to say that when I was viewing the news about, you know, his son being killed, unalived. That's what we say now, unalived, by an officer, and the none of the police, none of these police had their had any video showing the young man having a gun, you know, and I just want to say that. Yet he was unalive. And I just want to say, like, yo, if it's not showing up on the video, I know a lot of people are going both ways on this here. There are some people that's looking at it from a racial perspective. I'm looking at it from a father, regardless of what your culture, your race, or whatever. You know, to lose your son at the hand of someone who's supposed to protect and serve, especially if you've been in that child's life and you've raised that child and you've put love in that child, and this child goes out, steals a car. Stealing a car does not justify murder, you know, because to kill a kid or anyone for stealing a car, that's just outright murder, you know. And I can understand that this man had what we hear all the time with other folks that do, similar or unaliving other people, that they had some mental issues. Losing your son and then knowing that you were never going to see that son again, and there is no proof that he had a gun, could send anyone, a mother or father, off, and especially if that son is someone that you looked at as being your primary reason for even being a better you, for, you know, just being the best that you can be and raising that child, and then they're snuffed out just for stealing a car, you know. I think that I can relate to that type of insanity. I think that most men or women who may have not unalived a police officer after their child has been taken out and is unarmed and there's no proof that it was a gun, they call it a pew pew, I mean, to me, it's like, when are we going to hold police accountable, fully accountable? We go through this court system stuff. Sometimes, it works in the family's favor, where that officer is sent to jail and to prison. But a lot of times, though, from a black perspective, we see officers that unalive our children, unarmed, that it's like a club or a gang, you reach the upper echelons of the blue wall or whatever when you can claim that you got one, you've taken one out. It's kind of like how some of those crazy ass hunters go out and they hunt down animals and they put the head of the animal up on their wall or some shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, You know, it just reminds me, it goes all the way back to when we was talking about woke before it got hijacked by all these other communities. Black people was talking about woke, you know, in reference to seeing things for what it really is. Not going backwards no more. Not listening to the bullshit about, you know, what the law talks about, that you know, the officers in their right, and when an officer says that he or she was fearing for their life, that's not good enough. If you are that damn shaky and you fear for your life with a gun on your side, with all this training that y'all supposed to go through, nightsticks and all kind of batons and stuff, you need to get the hell out of that profession, because you sound like a coward, you know, he or she. If you got to pull your gun because a young man is black, and the crazy thing is, woke, right? It ain't no damn coincidence when they're all black people that's unalived by officers. It's not a coincidence. You know, we have footage and all kind of newsreel of white kids doing the same thing, stealing a car. Hey, some of them do even worse. And they they pew pew, as y'all say, at the police. And the police finds a nonviolent way of resolving the issue. So, you know, it's like, if the judicial system is not going to really do their job by reprimanding and charging these officers that are like gang members, you know, across this country, this is how they think, you know, people are going to begin to start taking things on their, you know, they're going to start coming up with their own creative ways to get satisfaction. And that's just the reality. That is this country. It started on violence, and look, this is the same, you know, the same tune here in 2025, violence, right? And it's like, I heard someone saying something about black love, man. Listen, woke again. Another definition of that woke in this original form, you know, where it began, was all about blackness. Like Black Lives Matter before they went off the rails, you know, yeah, it was all about black love, black understanding, black care, black solidarity, being with each other, feeling each other. You know, I remember when it was like 2014 when the young kid got killed eating the Skittles, and this guy kills him, murders him, and gets off. I remember the anger that I felt. And if it wasn't for my two children at that time, I don't know. I think I had got a bit of that insanity myself. You know, that somebody needs to pay. Somebody needs to feel that pain. And I'm not promoting violence. What I'm really trying to do is to put a word out there that if you don't want violence, then the law enforcement, the judicial system is going to have to make some major changes, because people are not going back. And the thing about it, you know, listen, this is not just in the United States. Black love is transitioning all across this globe now. People are tired of feeling like they gotta listen to bullshit excuses on why we are treated so bad. You know what I mean? And it's like, listen, if that's what you want, then continue. But God is with us. And the thing about it, God is not with that evil. And if we're tired of it, pretty much the universe is tired of this here just nonsense, you know, like open season on black people. You know, enough is enough.